function called set function to store the value, because now you do not have any default value under your state variable here. Okay? So that's why you need to call a set function. So later on, this simple storage, we are going to use it to look for a second exercise. Where is the ABI? We use based on the simple storage, this one, to look for the ABI. Why we need to have an ABI? Okay. Where is the bytecode? ABI and bytecode. Okay. So for your front end interactions, some of them you are referring to my slide over here. Some of you. Okay. You are referring to the slide, the sample answer for my code over here. I know that. Very messy from that. Okay. And I know the code that I'm given to here is 0.4.0. So you may detect some, they will show you some error, especially a constant over there. Okay? I purposely put in the old code. The reason is you're not writing an old code. You need to know how to convert back to the new code. For that, same thing when you do your assignment also. Okay? So that's why my code over here now is the same concept, same thing. I want to pay attention, let you have. So maybe I'm using 0.8.0. So I'm defining as unsigned integer. We can be more specific to telling you how many size of your the unsigned integer space you wanted to give. You want to have a 256 bit or 128 bit, you can define for that. Okay? So now you can see this function, function just now means function set. What this unsigned integer no need to mention memory or core data or storage, because the size is small compared to the just now the previous one. You saw this one function set, also function set, but here you need to define data location as memory because of the string. You are used up a lot of memory space. You need to tell you where is your location. Okay? So from a simple storage here, you can see the differences from here. I don't need to define memory. I don't have any error for that. So this is a set to initially I want to set the value into the store data. Later on I can call. So those who are follow the old code, previously that one is a constant. I said for the get function they are using constant. Remember just now I used the word constant. Constant is used to define for your state variable. You have a constant, that constant, the keyword for that. So the constant is no longer used for functions already. So you should make the constant to become real. We don't have a constant access modifier. There is only a real modifier. It means that you only allow the other program to call this function only for read the data from the state variable. So same thing over here, I do not need to mention the data location. I no need to mention the data location when I define as unsigned integer. Okay, no need. So you will see here the guess here and which how you told me well, return get value, read the value does not involve any guess. Yes, does not involve. What happened to this guess fee shown here? The guess fee shown here is refer to contract, call another contract, the guess fee need to pay. But if that is a contract called by the end user call the contract, so guess fee is not involved. Okay? 42459 that. So from here, there is an increment and decrement, mean that from your sample here, I'm using the n and n here, plus n or minus n for that. So that will be undefined of the guess for that part, okay? So now we go and look for after you compile, okay, compile already, auto compile. So then I move on to a deploy. So I said, we need to assume someone. Remember, if you're using the first account, this account that will become a owner account, owner of this program code. Okay? You can keep this account inside your program because you need to have one account to run this, to deploy this contract. This one also important. When we go and deploy the contract, we must use our EOA account. When you're using this EOA account, you choose one account, so that account becomes the owner account, owner of this contract, owner account. Okay, owner account. The owner account is determined when you use the EOA to deploy the smart contract. When you use one of the EOA account to deploy the smart contract, so that account will become an owner account. Owner account. So now you will say that, Mitch, how to keep track the owner account? For example, how can you keep track the owner account? Why is important to know owner account? Because you must know that this function is only can be called by owner. This function is only can call by the owner. That's why you need to have an owner account address inside your smart contract. Then only you can do verification. So now, if I say that this symbol, you understand the logic from that. Okay, later I modify from here. From here, okay, set for one. You can say once I deploy, I'm using the first account to do deploy. So once I deploy, I have a sample storage interface over here. So it means that from this set value, anyone can go and set value. You can say I come to here, I'm using the account 2. I'm using the account 2 here. Then I go and set value 20. I'm set. Okay? So then I get back my value is 20. My back-end program already have the 20 there. So but after this I use account number 2 again. Account number 3 again. Okay? Account number 3. I go and increase the value under the store data. Okay? I increase by 100. So I press increase. So in this case I will have 120. But let's say this set function is only can be called by one time. If you are not doing like that, if you are simply, you do not set the control, it means that somebody also can call this set value and then he start to do an initial for this value again. Re-initial the value under the data store. You can see now I come into the last account. I'm using the last account. I go and call the set value. Now I set the value become 400. So in this case, when I go and get the value, 400 gone. So what is the purpose of the increment? The increment just now I increased by 100. The previous transaction all is override by this set value already, because you did not control who should go and set this value. Get me now? Who should call this set value? Because set value are the one who call only by one time. Who can call? Sometimes certain condition is, which one like that, why we don't initially we go and set the default value over there? Sometimes the value cannot be set during your code line. You cannot give the default value when you write your program code. You must be deploy the entire things already and then set the value for one time only. Just like you say you direct. You write your program, you do not know how much for this direct at the initial. Am I right? So you from the farmer, okay, based on the direct assignment, your direct, this is your direct. Direct still hang on your tree there. When that drop, then you say, oh, the market price from this direct, from the owner, the farm owner, this direct is $20 per kilo. Then you send this direct to the distributor. When you write the program, you do not know how much for this direct, you're not in market yet. Understand what I mean now? So that's why who can set this direct? You must be identify that the program, who is the program? You must be have the address for that. So that's why I add on from this program. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to delete the contract. This one I don't want. Here you can see here got one recycle bin, got one bin on the corner there. So this contract we don't want already. So we go and delete it. Okay, we don't keep it. Okay. So if you know that the money here already changed already, I know you wanted to get back to the new price on that. So in this case, you refresh it. Okay, you reroute the whole thing. Okay, so then you open back your program. There's not run away, your single storage still there. So then they will give back your all 100 either for you again. Okay, now. So now, if you think that I want to keep track the person account. So then I will have a constructor. Okay, I will add in the constructor over here. Why I need to add in? Because I want to keep owner account. Owner of this program. Who is the owner? Okay? Who is the owner? So now I will have a constructor from this. So now I need to have the address. I need to have a storage variable. I need to have a state variable to store this address. So that's why I will have mentioned this is the owner account. And what is the address for that? What is the data type? You cannot put string. You cannot put unsigned integer. The address, because owner account is an address. So you have an address data type. Can you understand for that? So from here, how can I keep track for this? So when the address is used to deploy, this contract, that address will become the owner. So that's why to keep track the contract, to keep track the owner address, I should write over here. This one, owner address. How the data passing in? Okay, that is a global variable. Okay, global variable called MSG. MSG stands for not the MSG the Ajinomoto put inside your masak one. MSG over here is a message dot sender. That is a public variable for that. Okay? So now I purposely I don't want to use get function. I want everyone can see the address that you have been recorded down in your program, which I make our address here to be public. So when I define my state variable as a public, it means that by default they are going to give a return get function. By default they have a get function for that. Okay? So that's why I have no choice. I need to have a constructor. But this constructor is recorded down the name, the address. But remember, I'm not yet applying this address to verify this transaction. This set function still can be used and called by anyone because you did not set any modifier as I did. I don't have any modifier inside this function. Yes, I got the address, but I didn't apply modifier in this function. So that this function still can be accessed, still can be called by any address. Okay? But my keyword over here is I want to tell you how to record the address. Important, huh? Whatever today I talk important, you know, important for the exam. You must be know where to get your address. So now, coming back to here, as I said, all is 100 already, so I'm using the first account, EDDC4, this account as the programmer, as the owner of this, program. So I'm using this and I do deploy. So only then, over here, you will see owner account. Color same as the get account, get function. It's a blue color function there. Okay? So I did not call any yet, but from here I can get my account, and this is the address that you have been used. Remember, this address has been passing from your front end, okay? Or when you go and deploy, when you use truffle to deploy a schema, you use truffle to deploy, this address has been recorded down at your back end already. It's important because you need to verify certain function only can be called by the owner of the account, owner of this program. Not every function can be called by other people. Certain function may be called by the owner of the account. So then get is 0 by default. They don't have any value. I do not set any value yet. Okay? So that is a part. And same thing as I said, the set value 22 something over here, or this one is based on what? Based on your, I know I need to give you a break. I call the function owner account get function. So I should go and look for this, and this value you can able to see the transaction. The get function. You can see the value here, 24. Even though as I said, the get function 2459 guess. Here is 2459 guess. Cost only applied when called by contract. It's not called by a user. So that's why I do not have any money will be deducted from my account when I go and call this. You should know. They will not be deducted my money from there. This one I already demo for you already. So I give you a 5 minutes break. Come back over here. We will continue for our this. I will continue for this. Then we go for the NBI for the lab 4. Okay, 5 minutes break. Come back from this block. We almost after 15 minutes.